Well, hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the apocalypse. Are you having fun yet? I mean, the insanity of the world that we live in. I mean, the kid that, like a swine, and we all know about him. I heard about his Reddit account, whatever the freak it is. He thinks it's good that millions of people die from mosquitoes and malaria. He thinks that's a good thing, what's good for the environment. Imagine that. And look at all these people that are putting all this money in to try to take our guns because they want to save lives. These are the people that pay to poison us. These are the people that pay to depopulate us. And you still have people stupid enough to stand next to them and be like, we want to save lives. Well, yeah. It's already been proven guns save more lives than they take lives. Imagine that. Especially single women. Yeah. Imagine that. The insanity of what this world is. Of what these little, just pathetic peons. And then when you come to realize, Mr. Swineboy, I guess on his Reddit account or whatever, talks about how he pretty much kind of hates women because he can't get laid. Who's ever paying him right now, I guarantee they bought him a couple of hookers by now. Well, I mean, he should at least have a couple brainwashed girls that think, he's the bee's knees by now, I would imagine. But he's probably such a little douche, he still can't pull it off. That's sad. That's sad. Because, I'll admit, I ran from that a lot. I didn't have a problem trying to do it. I waited quite a while to do that. But I actually ran from it. Quite a bit. Enough to be ridiculed for running away from it. At least I had the choice. This poor little guy, I feel bad for him. He doesn't even have a choice, does he? Aw, poor little swine. You don't even have a choice. Aw, poor guy. Oh, the insanity of this world just never ceases to amaze me. But I've been seeing a lot of good things, A lot of people actually have been getting arrested. A lot of MS-13, a lot of freaking illegal immigrants. I know there's a lot more that need to be arrested, but a lot of pedophiles. Nobody's actually really, talking about or anything about how many of the pedophiles have been getting arrested. Pedophile rings, sex trafficking rings. This shit is going on. And I understand, we know that we can't trust the mainstream media. We know this. But what is so hard and still stuck in our psyche, even though we don't believe anything that they say, that we're still sitting there in the back of our heads and our hearts with fear that, well, if all these people are getting arrested, what's supposed to be happening is happening. There is still this thing that is stuck in our head that even though we found proofs, we found articles, this, that, or the other thing, we're still sitting here because we are still brainwashed ourselves a little bit to being like, I believe it and I know it to be true, but at the same time, the mainstream media hasn't said anything about it. So, And I think that pisses us off because it's still in our heads that it's established. It is what it is that if they finally say it. Because then they're having to tell all the dumbed down masses and it's finally happening. Well, I have a pretty good feeling that that's what this weekend is going to be for. I really think. Hey, that's to be seen now, isn't it? But I have a prediction. I have a prediction, my friends, my brothers and sisters. That so many people are going to get arrested this weekend that it's going to literally spin the fucking heads off of the left. They're not even going to be able to comprehend. And you got to realize, there's a lot of people out there that aren't bad. But there's a lot of people that don't even pay attention to mainstream media because they know that it's garbage. And that don't even listen to the media that we listen to. So they have no idea about the disgusting things that our government has really done. Of course they have ideas, this, that, or the other thing, but they don't really know about all the pedophilia, the baby's organs, and all this, just the sex slavery, the child slavery, the sacrifices, the drinking of blood, injecting of blood. They don't, to them, that is all just a fantasy freaking, whatever. I mean, what the heck is really going on in this world is literally like somebody couldn't even write this in a novel. And if they did, it'd be the greatest novel ever, but still people would be like, there's way too much to it. It's all this crazy ass stuff. It would be too much to even put it into a novel. I mean, but this is the world that we live in, my brothers and sisters. This is the world that we live in. And it is very, very sad and disturbing that we don't really realize that, you know, whether this is a torment or a blessing, we live in one of the craziest moments in time to date that of known recorded history. And I ain't going to say all history is real. I really think, I think that timeline, 2,000 years, I think that's a little long. I don't think it goes back that long, but hey, I don't truly know. But just a lot of things seem really, really crazy. I've looked at a whole bunch of crazy maps that were like aerial view maps, and they say that these maps are from 2,000-3,000 years ago, and somehow these people had the ability to map out Rome and map out cities and map out towns that were so big, and somehow they were able to draw them perfectly of what it would look like if it was an aerial view. And you know, that's, I mean, maybe you could have kind of an idea if you had a tall mountain you could go sit on to do a small little town, but when you're talking that they've done this with cities, the insanity of it, and when you start looking back and you're like, wow, either there was higher technology or maybe this, all this stuff doesn't go back as far as they say that it does. Because, you know, I've found in many, I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but, you know, I've found in many places, in many ways, where it shows that technologies that people had and understandings that people had, that 5,000 years ago should have been the Industrial Revolution. So you're telling me we had the chance to have an industrial revolution 5,000 years ago, pretty much, and we didn't do it till the last 100 years, last 150 years? It's a little weird, wouldn't you say? Whatever. A little off topic. But more than anything, I want you guys to realize that we live in some of the craziest times ever. And you should feel pretty happy and proud of that, and you should realize that you're probably here for a reason. And I can't tell you what that reason is. I can't tell you that rhyme or reason. But that's something that you need to find yourselves, because I promise you, you are here for a reason. You are special. Like, I'm not trying to freaking whatever. But there, you have a purpose here. And when you find that purpose, trust me, if you're somebody that just, like, you feel like you want to give up, you don't see what the point is, it doesn't seem like we can win, this, that, or the other thing, don't. Because you're here for a reason. And everything that you've been put through is for a reason, to build you and strengthen you into who you are supposed to be and who you need to be for this battle that is coming. Never forget that. Alright, well, I love you all. I hope you guys have a good weekend.